Feels better already?
Yeah.
Just feel getting cooler and cooler.
All right, I'll let your eyes adjust and everyone get down here. So here is a button that you would press. Now it's a little dark, but it would unlock the, it would buzz you in. They had electronic locks that would unlock this door, and you would shut the door behind you, pick up a phone, and look into a camera. Now, then you would say the access code. If you say the wrong code, you're trapped here until the military police come to take you away, right? So this is known as an entrapment room. It also works as an airlock so that no contaminated airflow would go through. You say the right code, and they buzz you through the next door, and you come on in. Then you come to this 2,000-pound blast door. So this is made from manganese. It's got a higher melting point than regular steel. Now you notice as we came down the stairs, we went around a corner, and another corner. The engineering is such that if that energy wave from a nuclear blast was coming down the staircase, each time it has to stop, it's going to lose 10% of its energy. So by the time it got to the curvature of this door, that would dissipate that energy into these thick concrete walls. Now here's a locking mechanism to make sure that both doors couldn't be opened at the same time. That way the missileers would never be exposed to any sort of danger. Now this door, you can see there was a hole cut out. That was part of our agreements with the Soviet Union for a strategic arms limitation treaty. And so this showed that this was a non-operational base. Next, I'm going to take you down into the ready room where the missileers used to live. Come on, buddy. Just let me sit over. Construction zone. I have frisbees over holes so that nobody falls in and such. So this big column right here would support the bunker. It's just a solid concrete column. Here's the handle that went to the escape hatch over there. Now you can see an imprint in the floor where the walls used to be. So when I bought this place, without air handling for over 50 years, mold had gotten into all the walls and everything. So, I started out, I'm just a custom woodworker. I didn't have the funds to buy this place myself. I got a friend of mine, his name was Matthew, we were the same age. And, he flew out and checked out the place, and I shared with him the vision, and he was all in. So he gave me the starting capital to be able to purchase this, but not to renovate it. And then, unfortunately, a year later, he committed suicide. And so, for several years, I just sat on the property and I really didn't know how to move forward without funding and such. And then I realized, you know what? A lot of this work I can do myself. Nothing's going to get done here unless I start coming out here. So that's when I started just driving out here on the weekends with Buddy, throw up the hammock and come down here and start gutting the place. So I'd rip out sheetrock, put it into a contractor bag, swing it over my shoulder, and walk up the stairs, throw it in the dumpster, come back down and do it again. I was hoping to use the original floor plan, but I found, those stud walls, they smell like mold too, so I just gutted it all out. So the way that this was configured, there were bunk beds over there. There was a utility closet, a bathroom with a shower, 2 toilets, a urinal, and a couple sinks. Over here was a kitchen and dining area. And then you see this glass house sticking out of the wall. This is the glass house that was shut down, and there was an explosion, and it came to an air handling room. So the air handling equipment filter out chemical, biological, and nuclear contaminants, and then create a constant pressure environment to where no contaminants can seep their way in. It's always pushing air out, if that makes sense. Now you notice that the floor is separate from the walls. Originally this was suspended from the ceiling, and you had air shocks, which would stabilize the entire place. That way, if there was an explosion outside, everything would be safe inside. You see, all the electrical conduit is flexible, and even the lights are on springs. So over here is a cutaway image of what the base looked like. We started out on top of the silo, and now we're over here in the launch control center. So we went down the staircase through the glass doors, we're in the ready room. Next we're going to go down to the launch control room. So in there, you can see the desk that they could launch the missile from. There was an office, battery room, and communications room. And then there was a tunnel that goes across and goes over to the silo. So originally there were 9 floors, a crib which held the missile in place. And then when the elevator lifted to the surface, there's a deflector shield that would send the planes off to the side, and it would go down into the base. So when they decommissioned this in 1965, a salvage company came in and took all those floors out. They also filled it full of water, about 70 feet of water, and then they left the doors open for a period of time. That way the Soviet spy satellites going overhead, they would see the reflection of the water and recognize that it was a decommissioned base. And so it wouldn't be a target anymore. Now these are my plans on fixing up the place. I've started a nonprofit in the state of Kansas called the Ad Astra STEAM Institute. So the state motto of Kansas is Ad Astra per Aspera, which in Latin means to the stars through difficulties. Now, you're probably familiar with STEM education, science, technology, engineering. Recently, they added A for the arts, mathematics. So, what I'm wanting to do is use this facility as a showcase for the space-age technologies that would enable us to set up a lunar base on the moon or a colonization project on another planet. So, you have to think, if we had people living on the moon and rockets stopped going there with supplies, everyone up there would die. Unless we had systems in place that could produce fresh food, clean air, pure water, consistent energy, health and medical, communications, all integrated into the habitat. Now, I think this is important for going up in space, but it's also important for us here on Earth as we go through global climate changes. So I'm looking at designing disaster resilience into the home. Take, for instance, this is an aquaponics system. So you have, you take the nutrient-rich water from fish, and then you throw it into vertical grow beds, where the roots suck up the nutrients and filter the water, and it goes back clean to the fish. It's a closed-loop system. Then using the red and blue spectrum of light, with LEDs, you can grow indoors year-round. Now, I've also set a light underneath this tree patch, so you can have some natural lighting coming down for it as well. Now envision this. I plan on doing a big bar top and having a kitchen behind it. So all of you guys can sit, and a professional chef could take fresh food and make it for you right here. Now, let's take it a step further. I founded a company that has created a robotic kitchen. So there's artificial intelligence that can watch a professional chef and then mimic anything that he or she is doing. So you can have a celebrity chef from LA or a